The Square Ball Podcast.
Hello and welcome to the show. This is available in your podcast app. You can find it on YouTube as well. A show that is brought to you in association with Levi Solicitors, our favourite firm of solicitors in Leeds. Definitely the best looking.
Is that right?
I heard.
If you get the latest magazine, there's a picture of them on the back, actually. And at least half of them are very good looking.
Yeah.
That's what I will say. Sorry about the other half. But you don't know which one you're in, so you can draw your own conclusions, can't you?
You said at least half. I think that means all of them.
That is true. That is true.
Dead sexy is what I'd say. Oh, are we straying over into sexism now?
No, because there's a mixture of men and women on it.
Great stuff. Great stuff. 10% discount on wills, conveyancing and lasting powers of attorney, among other things.
Yeah, get yourself some for Christmas, if you want.
Why not get a will for Christmas?
Get yourself some conveyancing for Christmas.
Yeah.
You might want to buy a house next year.
To be fair, heading into January is big house buying time.
It is.
The market goes wild, so I've heard.
Yeah.
So
are you going to move?
No.
All right.
No.
Well, some other people can.
Yeah. So if you want to get a 10% discount on your legal fees on the full range of services, levisolicitors.co.uk/the square ball. Full details and terms on the website. My name's Dan Moylan. Hello. That there is Michael Normanton. Say hello, Michael Normanton.
Hello.
And Dean Smith is over there. Say hello, Dean Smith.
Hello.
Should we talk about Leeds United then?
Let's.
Well, everybody around us won. That made us quite sad, didn't it? But Southampton got absolutely pumped, which made us happy, I think, to a certain extent.
Mm-hmm.
This sacked Russell Martin, made us even happier. Refs are just like the worst thing in the world. The women lost, and an event has come to our attention that you just cannot miss. So where do you want to start?
I suppose we have actually been called out jumping ahead as villains for being pleased that other people were dropping points while we were still recording the match ball.
Oh, has Captain Hindsight popped up in the comments, has he?
Yeah, Sunderland were 2 down, weren't they? Then they won 3-2.
And I presume they went on to lose handsomely. No, did they not?
Burnley won as well.
Everybody won, didn't they?
Everyone in the top 7 won, apart from Leeds United.
But that will happen because a number of the top 7 are playing each other in the coming weeks. And I don't think we need to worry too much just yet.
Apart from Blackburn, who were never going to lose again.
Are they?
They've won 5 in a row now.
Right.
Including against us.
Is John Eustace quite good?
He's better than Wayne Rooney. I think we can conclude that much, given the sample at Birmingham. But maybe they'll sack him and bring in Michael Owen or someone, just someone a bit
really
more
charismatic,
someone a bit more famous, but obviously useless.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a bit annoying that everyone won. The thing is, this is the way it feels at the moment, though, because actually points wise we're pretty much on par with last year. Last year, people mainly unhappy because we were miles off Leicester and Ipswich. This year, it's felt more like we're going up because there are not teams doing as well. Actually, we're remarkably consistent through this period.
But teams like Sunderland, who were 2 down and then ended up winning, that feels like last year, especially at Ipswich, when they would just start turning games around.
Because they'd started to fall off at Sunderland.
Yeah.
And then they've undone that silliness.
Yeah, but they're behind us, aren't they? Whereas at this point last year, Ipswich were about 8 points in front of us or something. Yeah. So, it's all right.
Construct an alternative reality for me now, then, in mind, with Southampton's poor form in mind and the sacking of Russell Martin. Do you feel like me, where you just think you can't get over the fact that we lost to him a bit in the playoff final?
What, that we shouldn't have done?
We shouldn't have done, yeah. Because we were probably better than them over the course of the season. And we finished in 3rd, but Martin just had Farke's number.
Because he's a tactical genius, as he's shown.
Yeah, it's just annoying. I think it's just annoying in a really childish way that they went up and we didn't, and they're shit.
I mean, they are really bad. It's hard to imagine we would have managed to do any worse than them, if we had gone up.
We'd be mid-table now, Michael. That's my alternative reality. Disprove it.
Have you seen our squad?
Yeah, but we wouldn't have the same squad. We would still have had Archie Gray and Jorginho and Somerville.
Yeah, this is true.
We'd have built on it.
I don't think we would have been rock bottom of the league like them. And I don't know if that is just blind optimism, but I think that we would have done loads better. And we'd certainly be being linked with better managers than they are at the minute.
Who are they being linked with?
Who's in the frame?
Carlos Corberán and Danny Roll, the football saviour of Sheffield Wednesday.
He was there before, wasn't he? He was Hassan Hüttl's coach or assistant.
Danny
or
Roll was?
Mm.
Right. He's doing all right then in his role, because I just looked at the Championship table. Turns out Sheffield Wednesday are 9th.
Yeah, I know.
That's ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah, they were rubbish, weren't they?
Yeah.
Not long ago. I think he's done quite a good job there, given the resources. So I don't mind Southampton taking him. I mean, they're gonna go down anyway, aren't they? Surely you don't come back from 5 points from 16 games.
No, they're fucked. The only thing that I kind of didn't like about the weekend is Spurs took their foot off the gas. I wanted another 9.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I wanted 9 or 10. Really just push their own record.
Yeah, make them suffer.
Mm-hmm.
Jed Spence weighing in with an assist as well in that game.
He's had an interesting upward curve under Big Ange.
Yeah. Archie Gray-Penn, centre-back, I believe.
Again, that made me sad.
Very strange.
Left-sided centre-back.
Can do anything though, can't
He
he?
can do anything, and that's what makes me sad about it.
Mm.
But yeah, they're 9 points adrift of Southampton. So they've got to win 3 more games than everybody else around them to avoid this.
Yeah.
With 22 games left. And they've won once.
Yeah. And conceded loads and loads of goals. So yeah, they won't be staying up, I wouldn't have thought. You're into the greatest escape ever if you're getting out of 5 points from 16 and staying up. Although it does seem like,
if they were
30 points will probably be enough to stay up this year.
If they were to beat Derby's record, which they were on course for, I think if they'd kept Martin, they would have beaten Derby's 11-point record. If they did that, I don't know whether that would make me happy or sad. Happy because they've had such a terrible time of it since going up, or sad because they went up at our expense. And I think we'd have made a better fist of it than that.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's hard to imagine we would have done worse,
No.
even if we'd have brought Weston McKennie back.
It made me sad as well because I quite like that that's Derby's record.
Yeah.
Just out of pettiness.
Yeah, there's angles everywhere, really, I think. But yeah, there's something nice about seeing somebody as smug, I think, as Russell Martin getting the boot.
Yeah. Ipswich won, though.
Right, yeah.
We've been, I mean, that's, in some ways, I'm kind of pleased because I'd rather Ipswich stayed up. I feel like Leicester deserved to go down, and now Ipswich are within reach of them. So ideally, Ipswich should stay up at Leicester's expense, is what I would choose.
I choose Everton still.
Well, I would as well, really. I mean, ideally, I'd go Southampton, Everton, Leicester as my 3.
Southampton, Everton, Manchester United Football Club.
No, they're back. They're back big time.
They're back, baby, yeah.
They're back big time.
Did you were saying, weren't you, that you watched the Manchester Derby and it was absolutely abysmal?
It was terrible.
I watched it. It was a dreadful game of football. Apart from
really
the last
bad.
4 minutes, which had a bit of excitement.
Did you cheer?
I was glad of the way that it ended. Like, and I'm never that bothered about, obviously, Man United give a fuck, but I like just watching Guardiola's soul leave his body every time they lose the game. And then afterwards he was going, I'm not good enough. What are you talking about? You won four leagues in a row?
He'll have gone there and started flaying himself after that as well, won't he? Given what's been going on recently. That's
He's going
not
to take his
healthy.
foot off or something, isn't he? As like a punishment. Do it on the sideline. People begging him not to.
Swigging out of a bottle of brandy.
Blinded himself or something.
Taking a finger off every time you drop a point.
But yeah, it is. Yeah, there is the Schadenfreude to be found everywhere in football, I think. And yet, even though it was them lot are not going to trouble anything, I don't think, this season. So it's funny watching them inflict that on what is basically the Death Star in football. They've become Man City. It's weird, isn't it, how they've become the Death Star compared to growing up and it was Man United.
And now they're behind Nottingham Forest in the table.
And again, another team that probably needs to suffer.
Yeah.
That feels unfair.
I mean, they've probably already got enough points to stay up, given the way the table's shaping up. So I think they'll be all right this year. Yeah, I mean, lower down. I did, because I've started watching some clips of Propaganda, which is coming tomorrow. And I did watch some Wolves stuff, and I just felt really sad for Dave. So he's not in Propaganda. Because it made me too sad. Did watching him, and I just thought, no.
You might need to elaborate on who Dave is for anybody who doesn't know, because you said that like we should all know.
Dave? Dazzling Dave.
Dazzling Dave.
Is he called Dazzling Dave?
He's one of the...
He's changed his channel now. He's not called that anymore.
Has he lost the dazzle?
No, for me, Dave, you still got that dazzle. You've still got it.
The magic's still there for you.
Yeah, but it was him and his dad and his mate, and he was all upset, and I felt sorry for him.
But isn't that the point of Propaganda?
No, because normally I'd normally laugh at him, because it's often a bit insincere, or it's people who've got ideas above the station and stuff. Dave was just,
Genuinely sad.
He was just sad, and I felt bad for him. So he won't be in Propaganda because it's too upsetting for everyone. I don't want to see it again.
Yeah, I mentioned the Manchester derby because did you see? I don't know if there's not been a clip doing the rounds because I think Sky are probably too embarrassed to put it out there. But they've got Mike Dean, former ref Mike Dean, as their reffing expert, and they went to him over a penalty incident, and somebody said, "Was that a penalty, Mike?" And he said, "Not in a game like this," which was just it's an innocent passing remark, I suppose, in his eyes. To me, that I don't know that points towards something that I don't like, something unsavoury.
It's just showing his hand a little bit, isn't it? Like, and alluding to the fact that games can be refereed in different ways. And I think all of us
2-tier refereeing, Dean.
Yeah, but I mean, you guys covered it on the match ball, but to have that decision, or for John Busby to give the free kick and then just completely bottle giving that second yellow card, it's he's so bad at his job in that moment.
The game at Preston.
Yeah, the game at Preston. And so then for Mike Dean to be talking about how there's maybe a bit of leeway, it's like, well, hold on a minute. If the fans are going to see a game, there wants to be some consistency so that we know what we're watching, as opposed to saying, right, the referee's going to referee it version A today.
That's exactly what I mean, though. Yeah,
it's bullshit.
It's like an ever-moving algorithm, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just like in the way that computer games will make it harder for you if you're doing well. It feels like that same sort of thing applies for refereeing decisions at points. It's like, no, this is not the way it's panning out here. If it was a 3-0 penalty, that's given. But not on this stage.
And it points towards maybe conversations, and I know I'm imagining this completely and probably fabricating it, but conversations at PGMOL where they're saying, well, it's the big one, it's going to be on Sky, is this one, it's the featured game, we need a really good, strong refereeing performance. Why don't we just have a good, strong refereeing performance in all of them? Why don't you try that?
I think the whole thing's just a human element to it, though, that you can't overcome it necessarily. The feeling of like, oh, this is like a World Cup final. Do I want to send someone off? Do I want to send someone off 10 minutes into a World Cup final? Maybe not. So you maybe let something go.
Did you see the Copa Libertadores final at all that was on a couple of weeks back?
No.
I saw the first minute.
And that's all you needed to see.
Yeah.
Was a man essentially attempting to behead another man with a football boot inside the first 30 seconds. And he did it after 37 seconds or something like that. But it took until the second minute to send him off. But basically the first passage of play in the game, he booted a man in the fucking head.
Yeah.
And he sent him off. And that's in South American football where you're allowed to do stuff like that because they're ref differently as well.
Yeah.
Men's heads getting kicked off all the time.
On the penalty stuff.
But just give it. That's all I'm saying. What I'm saying is I'm annoyed at John Busby.
Yeah. I'm still annoyed at John Busby because that was not borderline. That was border. It was, well, everyone said everyone saw the tackle and went, oh, he could be off here. Then you went, oh, he's already been booked. He's definitely off here. And then, sure enough, it just petered out. And he just felt like if you watch the way it works, Bogle's over towards the left-hand side of the picture and the Preston players almost managed to move him and the huddle of players takes him back towards the halfway line. And I think maybe in doing that, he kind of forgets that there's someone down on the floor injured and forgets where the free kick was and who did it. And the whole thing maybe just gets a little bit lost to him.
You think maybe he just lost his shit?
I think so, yeah.
Right.
And then he continued to lose his shit for 15 minutes after that until half time was reached, basically.
But surely there at that point, what you can do is you can go consult with your liner and just buy yourself a couple of minutes of time to send all the players away and just say, right, I think that's going to be yellow. Are you happy to go along with it? And just, pretend they're having a chat about whatever. And I said, what are you having for tea tonight? I don't know. Lasagna.
Just cover your mouth.
Yep. Lasagna. I'm having lasagna tonight. What about you?
I wasn't watching. What were you watching?
What were you doing?
I don't know. I was just thinking about something else.
You were looking at a lady in the crowd.
I didn't see what happened. Was it a tackle?
Were you looking at a lady in the crowd?
Was it in the box?
You were, weren't you?
Possibly.
Does your wife know?
Possibly. Sorry, I should be covering my mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're trying to explain the unexplainable. Like it's the clearest thing in the world. Watching it at home, I was like, that's the reason why he's waiting is because he's weighing up whether it's a straight red. The yellow was always going to come, but the standard of refereeing just drives me insane. Insane.
I mean, the penalty that Man United fans were complaining about not getting, I can see why they're complaining because those are given all the time. But then a bit like the one that Middlesbrough weren't given, they're given all the time. But I don't want that given. I don't want the Man United one given because it's like the level of soft contact required for a penalty now is weird. But then it's sometimes given, sometimes not, right. And it makes the whole thing very frustrating for everyone because you never quite know where the line is for what is and what isn't a foul.
Or a red card for that matter.
Or a red card.
It's not fair, is it?
It's a big Leeds conspiracy, apart from when Joe Rodon maybe kicked that bloke and Middlesbrough didn't get a penalty.
So the bits that don't,
but he didn't kick him very hard,
right?
So that was my reason it wasn't a penalty, because he kicked him just a little bit. It wasn't enough to make him fall over, and then having fallen over, he should have actually been booked for diving.
Right.
That's my and he should be retrospectively banned.
Well, mentioned the women being top of the league. They were at home against the bottom of the league team.
Easy win then, yeah?
Yeah, you can guess what happened next anyway, can't you?
Yeah.
I didn't see it. Did you see it?
No.
I seen the goals. Not great defending, but
just sort it out. That's my only advice.
Very Wigan-y, that.
Yeah, exactly the example I thought of in my head. Shocking. Right, an event that we all need to get on board with. Thank you to Anna, who has emailed us at mailbag@thesquareball.net. We were told, by the way, when we went for drinks at the Griffin after Derby, a number of people suggested the email address should be changed to ballbag, because it was a feature we've rolled out in the mag, I think. It should be ballbag@thesquareball.net.
But that's your email address, eh?
There we go. But anyway, mailbag@thesquareball.net. And Anna sent us the dates for Neil Warnock's tour.
Nice.
And Anna says, it's my wedding anniversary, so unfortunately can't go to any of the dates, or maybe a gerbil dies next August or another excuse or whatever. But didn't want you great bunch of lads to miss out on the Warnock coming to impart his wisdom. So, do you fancy it?
Where is he? Where can we go?
The link that Anna has sent is, it's an evening with Neil Warnock, Friday the 29th of August, this next year, at the Opera House in Manchester. And I've opened up the page. I want you to guess now. How's
Neil Warnock selling Manchester? He's never managed a Manchester club, has it? Or even obviously wouldn't have managed one of a big club, but he's never managed Bolton or anyone, has he, around there? Or has he? No, how's he selling that out?
I don't know what's going on here. Well, I don't know what's going on, because the pattern, you can see the seat pattern when you buy tickets nowadays. The seat pattern appears to be, the availability is every second row. So I don't know if they're selling out alternate rows.
I've seen that before, to
make it look fuller than it actually is.
Yeah, I've seen that done before when people are trying to fill a venue.
Right. Anyway, tickets. So if you want to get the couple of front rows, there's it looks like premium seats right at the very, very front. Go and guess how much.
The front row to see Neil Warnock?
Yeah, so you could basically see up his nose.
£15.
Bit higher, Dean, what do you think?
Well, I've got it open here.
All right, okay, so don't tell him. It's a bit higher than 15, go
on.
£16.
We were discussing earlier, we've both in recent weeks been to see Paul Heaton. I think it was 35 quid, that?
Yeah.
35 quid.
No, it's £96.75.
Wow.
For that. But if you want to slum it with the rest of the scumbags, a couple of rows behind that, the other premium seats just behind it, £51.75.
Fucking hell.
But for the £96.75, you get half an hour with him before the show goes up. And
if you pay 120 quid, can you avoid that?
Yeah. I don't know how he's justifying that. And also, an evening with Neil Warnock, what's he doing? Is he singing, dancing?
Kind of hope so, at the Opera House.
He'll just be telling the same story he's told about adults around 100th times before. I'm saying he's never managed any Manchester-ish teams. I'm forgetting he did manage Oldham and Bury in the late 90s. But surely they weren't great spells, I don't think. He will no doubt tell you otherwise.
He once managed me in a charity game at Chesterfield when he was the Chesterfield.
Really?
Yeah.
Talk us through that.
Did you have to pay money to get in the first team, or
no? But he walked around the changing room and asked everyone if we wanted a photo with him. We were like, "Nah, I'm all right."
Really?
Yeah, genuine. Yeah.
Right.
And yeah, he's only little.
Right.
And he's got quite a strange face.
He has got a strange face.
Does he smell of Brill cream or talc? What does he smell of?
I can't really remember. But he was talking to us about making sure that we were pressing the other team. Like he was trying to give us proper advice, and we were all like, we're all just like actors and that.
Mate, I've been in Waterloo Road. Yeah.
But then he genuinely, after the game, we're all getting changed and stuff, toweling off, and he walked around and was like, "Would you like a photo?" With every single one of us.
Well, just your towel on?
Just my towel on.
Was he perving on you?
No, I don't think so. But I just think he thought we cared more.
Did he have a shower?
No, he didn't. He was only managing, so he stayed out.
Ross McCormack, I'm sure, has told the tale of Neil Warnock having a shower and then putting, it's either like Sudocrem or pile cream on or something, like with his leg up on the bench.
Right.
So there's an image to conjure with.
Wow.
Just talking his shaft.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. It's got what is it? Because the lack of eyebrows, you think it's weird?
Yeah. And
There's a lot of forehead.
Yeah, it's quite forward.
Mm.
And he's got like that. His features are very striking.
Yeah.
And they all, I don't know.
It looks like RoboCop with his helmet off.
Mate, I think he looked like a bald eagle.
Yeah.
And I don't know what I mean by that, but I'm going to stand by it.
Right.
It's quite beaky.
Beaky.
He's a beaky man.
There you go.
Anyway, it's £51.75. Then if you want to get on the stalls or the circle, it's £41.75. Sorry, 51 for the expensive ones, 41.75 for the next ones, and then 31.75 for the cheap seats.
Fuck, that's so much money.
Yeah,
because it's just Neil Warnock. Like we were saying, you know, you go see a band. There's a drummer. There's the guitarist. There's a bass player. There's all the tech people. Neil Warnock needs himself and maybe a backdrop.
Surely someone will be interviewing him though, or chatting with him. He's not just going to stand up there and do.
Fuck, mate, it's a £5 booking fee. That's probably upset me more than anything.
We don't have to go, thankfully.
No.
Where else is he playing?
Don't know.
I know he was doing this years ago while he was still at. I think he was still managing Huddersfield, and he had some of these dates booked in. So he just seems to be on like an everlasting tour. Harry Redknapp's done him as well.
Right.
It's funny how there's a pattern actually of managers who are known for being financially savvy on a personal level, doing these tours.
Yeah.
Is that opaque enough in terms of a phrase?
All £96.75 tickets will include a meet and greet, an exclusive 30-minute pre-show chat with Neil Warnock, as you said, Dean. You'll get the opportunity for a picture with Neil.
He'll ask you, yeah.
Do you want a picture? No.
When you're in a towel, he'll ask you.
As well as a personalised autograph.
It was Warnock who had the pocket full of signed pictures he was handing out, wasn't he? Where was that? He turned up somewhere and he just had photos that he was like dishing out to people whether they asked him or not.
This sounds sneaky. The meet and greet will take place at 5:45. Exact arrival time and location will be emailed the week of the event.
Ooh.
Car park.
Room 103, Premier Inn.
It's just bathroom.
You just escorted up.
It's not much of a tour. He's just doing that date.
All right.
That's it.
Yep. That's that. And also on this website that I'm looking at, you can also book tickets to see Peter Beardsley, Bruce Grobbelaar, and Matt Letizia.
Oh, good.
You want to go down to Matt Letizia, Mike?
I mean, he does do events. I do know. I have been made aware of them by being tagged in on stuff on Twitter
relentlessly.
Bruce Grobbelaar was. I don't know where he lives now. For a time, he did live like around me. He was living in Cass, I think. Weirdly, I'm sure he ended up marrying a woman from like Wakefield and ended up living in Cass for a bit and because he played a game at least for Glasshouse and Welfare.
Really?
So whether or not he's still in the area.
Did he wear his big comedy gloves? Do you remember that photograph from the 1980s of him in gigantic comedy gloves? Did he wear them?
Unlikely, I would say.
Let's sort out our likes and dislikes from this week and crown a hero and villain of the week. I mean, obviously John Busby is the villain, but let's go through the motions anyway, shall we?
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to say about things you like, things you dislike? I dislike John Busby.
Yeah, speaking of Matt Letizia, actually, Adam nominates John Busby. Says looks like he cries before and after sex. Also, maybe a job for Normanton and Tom Numbers.
Let me have a look here.
But has anyone looked into his family links to scumbastard Matt Busby? Think on.
Referee, what's his name? John Busby.
I think that's a bit too much of a direct line to draw for Tom Numbers to go. Surnames probably related. There'll be all sorts of.
It's not convoluted enough.
No, not even slightly.
To do the deep dive.
Yeah, what can you do with it? It's just they've got the same name. The numbers will be the same because it's the same name.
It all lines up.
He'll convert it. He'll go Busby, 62. Matt Busby, also 62. Like, yeah, it's the same word.
Is John Busby laid there, wrapped up in a duvet, weeping gently and asking to be cuddled? That's what I'm asking.
I mean, we've discussed potentially just in private the fact that Brendan Aronson cries before and after sex.
I'm glad you've documented this.
So whether or not this applies to John Busby as well, or as much, I'll have to assess based on his pictures. I'm going to say, well, potentially, yeah.
I don't think he's ever had sex.
Really?
Yeah, I'm going to put that out there.
Is he like Action Man?
Yeah, he's entirely smooth.
Yeah.
Like Neil Warnock.
Yeah.
It's just been neutered.
His nether regions look like Neil Warnock's forehead.
Right.
And that's a fact.
Like RoboCop with his helmet on. Super. Yeah.
I like this from Kicking the Tanakas on likes and dislikes. A dislike, the overly dramatic Sky commentary team. A Yorkshire side daring to set foot onto Lancashire soil. It's Preston away, lads, not the Battle of the Somme. Grow up.
But they do this. They do the hype.
Gary Weaver,
We've called
isn't
it
it?
before, Skyperbole. Yeah.
Skyperbole. But I mean, he's right. You can't get that much drama out of Preston Leeds.
Gary Weaver's very...
He's planted his flag.
I was going to say, he's very much... He's all about planting flags and stuff. He's Gary Weaver. I mean, he's the lesser of the evils on Sky, isn't he, when you've got Hinchcliffe?
Yeah.
Who, I mean, we got into him on the match ball, but...
Just a dreadful man.
Just awful. Provides no insight, no humour, no enthusiasm. Just a miserable fucking...
What were you going to say, Michael?
I was gonna say he's not. I was gonna use the word biased actually, but he's not really biased because he's just anti whatever's happening.
Yeah,
is what Andy Hinchcliffe is. He's just I don't like that's occurred. I'd rather something else had happened.
You could imagine having like office chat. Everyone will have met one of these people or been around somebody in the office who, if you've been to Tenerife, they've been to 11 Tenerife. One of those people. He'd be one of those.
Yeah.
You're always trying to one up. Yeah, well, I did this.
Yeah.
I fought in Nam. No, you didn't. You're not old enough, Andy. No, I did.
I wish you had.
But yeah, I think Weaver is like in the way that so Sam Matterface always has scripted lines, and I think Drury does as well. But Matterface sort of grinds a little bit in his commentary when he does it. Whereas I think Weaver, it almost strikes me as a bit of a lovable idiot with doing it. He's clearly done the same. Like when Middlesbrough scored their goal, or Max Verber scored a goal for Middlesbrough, he'd already trotting out a scripted line about Middlesbrough having done this, that. And it's like Verber just did it into his own net, mate. What are you saying that for? They haven't done anything.
Yeah.
They took a corner. Well done. What do you want, a medal? Need to go to Vietnam for that.
There's a lot of love for Dan James. Was he our only real standout from the weekend, playing staff-wise?
Probably was. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot on the flip side of this. There's a lot of displeasure about Elan Mellier's goalkeeping abilities, but
I'm on and off completely losing my rag with Mellier this year, I have to say.
We had a hot take sent into us, by the way, from Phil. He saves the ones he should save, but never saves the ones he shouldn't save, and sometimes doesn't save the one he should save too.
Right.
Clear as mud.
Occasionally makes a good save, but is generally not very good. Is the conclusion I'm increasingly coming to.
But
Has he gone backwards?
I was going to say Dick Van Chipwich has said, please can we get the Mellier back from the Borough game? The one that made some effing saves.
Yeah. I know we don't necessarily have an obvious replacement for him because what we've seen has not been great, but I'm at the point of thinking he maybe needs to be dropped.
Who for, though? Darlow?
Yeah. Cairns.
I'd go Cairns.
We advocated Cairns, didn't we?
I want Daryl Ombang putting straight in.
Right.
Is he still with us?
I don't know. He might have been loaned out somewhere.
Isn't it Rory Mahidi? In the
possibly.
under-23s.
It's not as good a name, though,
I
is
think
it?
we've been linked to somebody else as well, some other goalkeeping child.
Oh, okay.
In the January window. So maybe sign this goalkeeping child, stick him straight in. Mellier was young when he went in.
The thing is, other than the Watford goalkeeper, I'd probably take most people at the moment over Mellier because it's been a bad season for him. It's been a bad few years, actually. From thinking he was going to be potentially sold to now thinking...
We know, don't we, that they were thinking of him as a potentially saleable asset if you're going to go along the lines of developing young talent and selling it on for a profit. He was in their minds for doing that. Now you'd probably, you get 10, 12? Something like that. So, yeah, football's mad in it, though, remember?
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't pay that, personally.
But you don't have that.
True.
Yeah.
That is true. But if I was in control of a budget of that, I'd probably just, buy someone else. Andy Lonergan.
Right.
For example.
Run it back.
Scott Carson.
Yeah, he's still going, isn't he?
Yeah, he is, yeah.
Yeah.
Warms the bench.
Give him a start. Might be the man to turn it around for him.
He might be a bit creaky. I feel like we'd have to lube him up a bit.
Oh, okay.
Like his joints, I mean.
Okay.
Ken Bates, so he's 93 now. Does that mean he's in his 95th year or his 94th? I'll lose track of how this works.
What?
What?
The maths ain't math in there.
If he's
what
93,
did you say?
why would he be in his 95th year?
I don't know. Can't remember how it works. That's why I asked. Because your first year is 0-1.
Yeah.
Second year is 1-2.
What do you think? You get to 19, you gain one or something?
Yeah, it's a leap birthday.
Oh, okay.
You get a bonus one.
Right. So is that his 94th year then?
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. So Ken Bates is in his 94th year now because it was his birthday the other week. I'm glad we cleared that up, by the way. And it's time to award a Ken Bates Villain of the Week. It's John Busby.
It is.
Well done. That was fucking awful, wasn't it?
Yeah, really bad. And he wasn't good in the rest of the game either. The fact he added 2 minutes on at half time the red card that he didn't show incident alone was 2 minutes and didn't add anything else on. There was a goal.
Because he was scared. Do you think he cries before and after sex?
Yeah.
Do you think he cried in the dressing room at half time?
Yes.
Because he had sex in the dressing room at half time.
Yeah, and then so he went in and had a little cry to himself when he saw the replay. And Daniel Farker's banging on the dressing room door, saying,
why didn't you send him off?
Saying, how did it sound?
It just sounded like that.
No, but he's angry.
He was making himself more gruff.
Right, but how would that sound?
Like I said it.
But I can't hear it.
What the fuck you doing, ref?
Oh, come on. Pete, why do you think you're beneath, like the voices are beneath you now? This is all people want. They don't want the chat. They just want the voices.
I just want to talk to you, referee. John, please, could you please explain to me why you have not shown him the cards there?
Thank you. That's all I wanted.
Thank you. Okay.
Wasn't even that funny in the delivery, was it, in the end?
Sorry. Well, that's what happens, isn't it?
Should have just done it first time, though, before I had to badger you for it. So he's had a cry. Came back out. Was he any better second half?
No.
No, it wasn't as eventful as it second half, really.
Because he was hiding.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's him anyway. Dickhead.
It's him. Just do your fucking job.
Yeah. Right. It's time for the Gitana Barada Hero of the Week award. Sponsored by the TukTukClub.com. Described by the Sunday Times as the best driving holiday in the world. Where is it, Michael?
It's in Northern Thailand.
Northern Thailand. Look like you can drive yourself. You can be driven. You can see elephants, pristine waterfalls, jungle cookery.
There's a Christmas present you could buy yourself.
Yes.
A trip to Northern Thailand.
Do you know what the best bit is? 15% discount on your booking. TSB15 if you use that code when you get in touch.
That's good, isn't it? Do that then.
Yeah. Right. Who's your hero of the week?
Dan James has been really good over the last few games. And was it Redfern who was saying he was the best attacker in the Championship?
Yes.
When he said it, I thought, right, I'll have what he's having. But it's kind of getting to the point where he's probably our best attacker, do you think? I think so.
No, it definitely is. He's the most productive player we have as well. But for someone who we used to occasionally complain about a lack of end product, it's his crosses that lead to goals.
He's all about end product now.
He is all of a sudden.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think it probably is Dan James.
And he's finally got a song, which goes to show we've reached critical mass stage, I think, where Dan James is concerned. He's getting the love he deserves.
I love the song because there's been so much talk about, we could do this, we could do this song, and we just gone back to a real classic and just shoehorned his name in.
Thanks to DP Gumby as well, who is proposing the song. I don't know if this has been sung or not. He's got two first names, Daniel fucking James. I like that.
Good.
Doesn't need to be any more complex than that, does it?
It's more of a like than a hero, but I've just seen Bielsa say as like shouting fuck off at the telly after we equalised.
Yeah, it was a bit like that in here, wasn't it?
Very much one of those games.
Yeah, I've got all my sheaves of paper here, and I did thrash them off the table.
And we might have gone on to win it had John Busby not added on just 15 seconds extra for a goal being scored and the ball being out of play for half of that 4 minutes that he added on, which wasn't enough in the first place.
I would genuinely love to know what he did when he went home on Saturday.
He'll know it's not gone well.
Yeah.
The thing is, I don't think he hates Leeds. I don't think he was cheating on purpose. I think he just had a very, very bad day.
Right.
And he probably got home and was like, yeah, someone's going to probably want to talk to me about this at some point.
I was going to say, he knows he's getting an email. Monday morning.
The assessor.
Yeah. 9:01, ping.
How am I going to write my report in a way that doesn't make me seem like I fucked it?
Starts crying again.
Starts crying again.
Right. Well, there you go. Is that the show for this week then?
Yeah.
Have we crowned Dan James? Sorry, did we decide there? I don't know if we did.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's got to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dan James. And, hangover from Middlesbrough too, when he was also very good.
Well, we're back with propaganda tomorrow, Wednesday, as it is. And then we've got an Oxford preview coming on Thursday and a West stand with a very special guest coming before the weekend. No spoilers. So look out for all those. Just to let you know as well that after the Oxford game, we're going to be doing a West Stand. I think is it Graham who's coming in?
You've got it on the sheet.
I hope so. Let me look at the calendar and I'll tell you.
It is according to the calendar, yes.
The calendar says Graham Smith will be here after the Oxford game on Saturday. We'll record that. That'll come out on Monday. And then it says, we're having a bloody 2-week break, aren't we?
But not really.
Well, no, we'll still do loads of match balls. But yeah, there'll be no regular shows at all.
Because that sees you through to Christmas Eve, then on Tuesday. You don't want us to listen to anything on Christmas Eve.
No.
Have a Baileys, go to the pub.
Yeah.
Do something like that.
Go to the pub and have a Baileys.
Go to the pub and have a Baileys.
Yeah.
If you want.
So yeah, we're back with match balls after Stoke, Derby, Blackburn, Hull. It's all happening, isn't it?
A lot of games.
A lot of games over Christmas. And I think at some point on one of the shows, we should revisit our pre-season predictions too, because we're about the halfway point of the season. So let's do that on one of the shows. In the meantime, we'll catch you soon.
The Square Ball Podcast.